Welcome. What is happening? What is it today? Today's Wednesday, I believe it is Wednesday. I am here on the West Coast. I was in town for about 24 hours. I'm heading back on a red eye back to New York. And it's been a great trip. It's been a really, really amazing trip. Came out here, had a couple meetings with a couple clients, dropped in on a couple really, really good clients. Very, very excited for some of the stuff that we're doing. And what else? Spent half the day with Ed Milet, or at least half the afternoon with Ed Milet. If you don't know Ed Milet, you're missing out, man. This dude is a powerhouse. I'll talk about him in a little bit. What's up? Alex, hello. Good to see you. Ellen, good to see you too. Steve, Antonio, thank you all for jumping in. I know it's late on the East Coast. Still early here on the West Coast. Missing, growing bold. I know. So that's what I wanted to do. I know I've been a bit MIA. I've been posting a little bit, not like normal though, not a lot of video. And I wanted to get everybody caught up. I wanted to talk to you about what's been going on. Like, what's up with growing bold? I get so many messages now. Dude, what's happened with growing bold? Are you doing it anymore? What's going on? Yo, what's up? Hello, Eddie. Good to see you. Here's the short answer. Growing bold, it's never too late. You're right. It's absolutely never too late. Jacob, JD, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Drew, thanks for dropping in. I love it. Everybody's jumping in. Josh, evening. Love your content. Appreciate it. Max, hello. Yeah, what's going on with growing bold? So, dude, it's been crazy. We're in a little bit of a hiatus right now. Temporary, though. Don't worry. Don't worry. I get so many messages, literally, like, I've been shocked at how many people have messaged me what's happened with growing bold, which is awesome and also frustrating for me at the same time because I'm like, man, I don't want anyone to think that I've given up or growing bold's going away or you know, we've moved on to something else. Totally not the case. Totally not the case. So how was your torching? Dude, torched the business, torched it. And that sounds like a negative, but it's really not. And you can ask my boy Matt Monero, my friend Matt Monero, about that. Which, by the way, check him out, dude. If you're not following Matt Monero, you got to follow him. He's a good dude, really good dude. Gonna have actually some content that we filmed a couple weeks ago with him. We're gonna drop some stuff with him in a couple weeks, a few weeks. We are going to launch the Growing Bold podcast, hopefully around the same time. Benny, how are you? Benny, sorry. Good to see you. So, you know, where is Growing Bold? Growing Bold is in a hiatus. Why? Growing Bold is in a hiatus because we made so many major shifts in the business, like simultaneously. Crazy, crazy shifts. Number one, we moved offices, which I think a lot of you know, which was great, just incredible. We moved up from the 3rd floor of the building that we're in to the 15th floor. We took over a bunch of new space, had it totally custom built out for us. There's a chance we might be even expanding further in the very near future. So that was one thing that took up a lot of energy and time. The other, which was one of the main reasons that we went into hiatus a little bit, is, you know, I really had to restructure and reorganize the business. You know, there's a really interesting phenomenon that happens as you start growing, is what got you here today isn't necessarily what's going to get you where you want to go tomorrow. And I don't care if you're trying to build a $100 million company, if you're trying to build $1 million business for the first time, if you want to be a pro athlete, if you just want to be great at something, there are levels and there are plateaus and there are periods of time in which you got to change things, man. You got to shake stuff up. No matter how good things are, what got you here today is not necessarily going to be what gets you to the place you want to be at tomorrow. And for me, it really was understanding that, taking ownership of that and saying, look, you know, where do we want to go? Do I think we can build a $100 million business? Absolutely. We've more than doubled the size of the company in 8 months, right? So yes, the clear answer is absolutely. Is the goal to build a $100 million business? No, we want to get way beyond that. But the goal of $100 million, let me explain this because I don't think I do a great job of explaining it. The goal of $100 million is not because, hey, you know, some people are like, oh, when you get to 100 million, what are you, retiring? No. Dude, if I can get to 100 million, then we're going to get to a billion, right? Like that's the whole idea behind that. But the reason that I talk about that, a lot of people think of it so monetarily, and I understand why. The reason that I have that is, dude, you need a big target. You want to do big things, you have to have a big target, and the target needs to be measurable. And the other thing is, when you put something out that's measurable, that people can hold you accountable to and say, did you do it? Did you not do it? And you put that out into the world, into the universe, and you tell everyone about it, man, everything changes, because now you're not just accountable for what's in your head. You're accountable to what everyone thinks about you. You're accountable to the fact that you put out on the internet that you're building a $100 million business. Well, what if in 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, you didn't do it? What if in 10 years you gave up? Then who are you? And so, I mean, look, you got to be real confident. You got to be really, really in it to say something that big and do it. Because there's a lot of people that say stuff, that talk the talk. There's not a lot of people that do it, that take the level of action required to do massive, massive things. And $100 million is like an uncomfortable number. It's uncomfortable for me. It was uncomfortable for me. Like, dude, can you do that? Can you 20x your business? Well, now it's less than 10x. Yeah, for sure. It's less than 10x now. So more like 9x. I don't know. I got to do the math out of my head. But Benjamin, what's up, Benjamin Sargent? Look, like I think that it's one thing to say, hey, you know, I want to go from $4 million. I want to go from $3 million to $4 million next year. Cool, you might do that. But you know what? If you set your targets very small and you miss your target, are you really that far? But if you say, hey, look, I'll make this up. Let's make it simpler. Hey, you did your first $100,000 in business last year. Okay? Well, you might say, if I get to 150 next year, we're killing it. If I get to 200 or 250, I'm killing it. And that might feel like a big goal. The reality is it's not a big goal. And I'll tell you why. Because if you say, hey, I'm at 100 today, and I want to grow my business to 200 next year, right? For anybody who started out, I was there at one point in time. That might seem like, wow, that's twice as much work. That's twice as much effort. That's a big goal. It's a small goal. I'll tell you why. Because if you get to, let's say, 170, are you going to be like pissed that you didn't get it? No. You're going to be like, dude, I got really close. That's great. That's cool. That's not bad. And by the way, it's not bad. But let's say you said, hey, I'm at 100 today. Next year's time next year, I want to be at 1 million. 10x it. 2 million. Let's say 1 million. 10 times. Well, first of all, do you think you can do it? I don't know. That's up to you. That requires you to think bigger. Much bigger, as my friend Jay-Z Jordan Zimmerman says. Much, much bigger. You have to think so much bigger. And so if you force yourself to that point to think so much bigger, it makes you really consider, can you do it? Do you believe in yourself enough? Number one. And number two, if you do, and then you set that big target, well, first of all, wouldn't it be better to go from 100,000 to 1 million? Of course it would. But guess what? Let's say you didn't make it to 1 million next year. You made it to 500,000 or 600,000. Are you going to be upset? Hey, you might be like, hey, man, I didn't do what I wanted to do, but is $500,000 more than 170, 200? If you fall short of the million goal, if you fall short of 10x, you're still substantially farther than you would have been had you only set your target incremental. You will never substantially exceed your target. If you say, hey, I need to get to 200, it is almost impossible for you to get to 300 or 400 or 500 or 1 million. Almost impossible because you're not thinking big enough. You haven't created the space for you to even think it's possible. So you stop either at or just shy of the goal that you create. So the $100 million is for me to create the space for what's possible. And the $100 million is kind of an arbitrary number, but it's not. That's a lot of zeros for a lot of people. Myself included, my former self included, okay? That's a lot of zeros. $100 million club, business in the $100 million club, now you're narrowing down the amount of people that have gotten into that club. There's not a lot of people that make it to the $1 million club. There's a lot fewer that make it to the 5 million, and there's a lot fewer that make it to the $10 million club. Well, you grow a business into the $100 million club. It's a much smaller circle. Now, why is that important? Why is that important? Because, for me, I want to know what's possible. That's it. That is it. I want to know what I can accomplish. What's wrong with that? I want to know, can I do it? Forget can I do it? That's a terrible question. You know what? I'm going to jump ahead. What I learned from Ed Mylett, don't ask yourself, can you do it? That was stupid. I'm going back on that. I'm beating myself up over it. Why do I even say that? See, that's the subconscious crap we've all been fed for our entire life. This is, oh, can I do it? Can I get to 100 million? Can I get to 1 million? Can I do this? Can I talk to that person? Can I pick up this phone and make that call I need to make? Can I do it? You already failed. The fact that even slipped out of my mouth makes me mad because that means there's a piece of my brain still questioning if I can do it. You got to ask yourself, how can I do it? How do I get where I want to go? What do I need to do to get where I need to go? Who do I need to know? Who do I need to become? How do I need to act? That's how you get to big, crazy, amazing goals that makes everybody else nervous and everybody else question you and laugh at you and say, 100 million, really? You're going to take a company from just shy of $5 million to 100 million. Maybe you should figure out how to get to 10. Oh. What's really funny is it took me, God, I started my first business when I was, let's say when I really started, when I hired employees, 22 years old. I'm 35 now. That's 13 years ago, right? That's 13 years. It took me about 11, we'll call it 11 years. It took me 11 years to go from $0 to 5 million. It took me 8 months to double it. The only thing that changed, I mean, obviously skill sets changed, a lot of things changed, learned a lot along the way. But the goal got bigger. Do you know the difference between me this time last year and me today? Do I really know much more? No. Am I super knowledgeable compared to where I was this time last year? No. Yeah, do I know more? Of course. I study like crazy, man. I know what's going on in the industry. I know what's going on in marketing. I know what's going on in consulting. I know what's going on in media. I know what's going on in business. I know what's going on in the markets because I want to stay ahead. I know what's going on for my clients. So I'm constantly consuming knowledge, but I'm not substantially more knowledge. I'm not twice as much knowledge, twice as knowledgeable today as I was this time last year. Twice as confident, 20 times more confident actually. My dream's 10 times bigger. That's what's happening. And so the $100 million, a lot of people think is like, oh, this financial thing. Brian wants to make a bunch of money and it's not that, dude. I want to see what I can build. I want to see what's possible. I want to see what I can do for my clients. I want to serve my clients in such a way where they go, I didn't even think that big. I didn't even think we could do this for my business. And you're doing it for us, helping us get there. You're changing our mindsets and through our business, through our marketing. Holy cow. Dude, I want that. I want my employees to walk in every day and be like, man, I learned something yesterday. I learned something about myself. I learned what was possible. I learned that I could push myself. I learned that I could do more. I learned that I could go after more. Dude, I want that in my life. I don't want the opposite. I'm creating an environment where that's all that surrounds me. Dude, spending hours with Ed Mylett, man, it really made me realize, dude, okay, I lost a lot of the resources because we shrunk the company. We shook it up a bit. We had to refocus. What do we need? Who do we need? I didn't do it in a bad way. I'll talk about the details of that some future time, but I did it in a positive way. And I think it's something I want to talk about more publicly later because I think it's something a lot of companies and businesses get wrong. A lot of companies say, hey, we need to change stuff. And they cut a bunch of people and they move forward. Dude, that makes everybody feel bad. But the reality is sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you really need to say, hey, who do we need? Who do we need to be? Who needs to be on the team? Who might not be ready to be on this team? And that might be okay. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. There's nothing bad about it. It's just how you go about it, how you present it, how you change the team is how and why it matters. So I think we did it in a really good way. But when you lose a lot of his staff and you say, man, now we're going to do more work with less people and I gotta start rehiring, going through an entire new process, finding the right people, how are we going to get it all done? What are we going to do? And we had to shift a lot of our resources. That's why we went on hiatus. We had to shift all the resources from our own content over to the clients. So I'm like, the clients come first. Now, here's the cool part. We didn't stop filming. We did not stop filming. So those 2.5 months that we'll have been in hiatus, it's not like I'm just going to jump back into content. We're going to, okay, episode 20 of Growing Bold, and a bunch of time has passed. Now we're in a new office and we're moving forward. No, man, we're going to show you what happened. We're going to show you how we did it. We're going to show you the shakeup in the company in a positive way and the tough parts of that. We're going to show you all the crazy stuff that happened. Amazing. Or the move, like all of that. We filmed it, man. We filmed it. We just haven't edited it. So that's what's been going on with Growing Bold. It's just paused. It's just paused. I had to do it. I had to shift the resources over to the client side, man, because they come first. I want the clients to, because without clients, what do you have, right? That's not a business. You know, I'm running a real business. I'm not, selling digital products. Not that that's not a business, but like, we are a service business. So we got to serve our clients, right? So they came first. So I had to choose. Look, sometimes you got to move the stuff. But now what I'm realizing after spending a day with Ed Milet, dude, to realize the guy has only been on social media for a year, has millions of people following him. Do you know why that is? Why a dude goes, everybody's trying to figure it out. Because I hear a lot of people in my circle like, well, how does Ed do it? How come Ed can start, from 0 followers last May, it's now 2018, a year later, the dude's got hundreds of thousands of followers, got millions of downloads on his podcast. What did he do? How did he hack the system? Dude didn't hack anything, man. Nothing. 0. You know how he did it? He's real. He's real. He told and is telling his real story. He's willing to be emotional. He's willing to be open. He's willing to share his struggles, his successes, his thoughts and how he's approaching things, how he would approach things differently now knowing what he knows, so he can help you and me and everybody else speed up their process and learn from him and learn from all the people that he's surrounding himself with and interviewing. He's a real dude, a real story. The real story is where the power is. And everybody's trying to put on something fake. And whether we're talking about people, whether we're talking about businesses, everyone's trying to make up the narrative that they think everyone wants to hear. And then they wonder. They wonder why nothing takes off the ground. Why don't I have the amount of followers that Ed has? Why don't I have the amount of people following me like this other person? Because you're not being real. You're not saying what anybody else is thinking. Because you're trying to think and create what you want people to think and feel about you. And the reality is you can't fake that. You might think you can fake it, but you can't. Your real story is where the power is. Because we all have stories. We all come from somewhere. We've all struggled with something big, small, everything in between. Businesses too. A business is started for a reason. Why was it started? Why did you begin it? Why do you do what you do? Figure that stuff out. That's your story. Talk about it. Find other like-minded people that want to learn from you, that want to enroll themselves in what you do, in your vision, in your mission in life. It does not matter if you are a person trying to build a personal brand or if you're a business trying to build a multi-billion, a Fortune 100 company. It's the same thing. No one's buying. No one is buying Coke or Pepsi because they found a coupon in the back of a newspaper. Like, yeah, sure, people might buy a little bit more today because they need it anyway, and you gave them a coupon because they would have bought it regardless. Everybody forgets that. Everyone forgets that. They think because I'm discounting or because I'm doing something or, dude, it's the stories that you grew up as a kid and that's what you drank and that's what you're around and the ball team that you went to, Little League, that was what you were sponsored by. You forget all of that because our minds are so short. Mine included, dude. We forget all of those things. Right? It's all about the emotion. It's all about who are you connecting with? What's the story? What's that feeling? Right? You're not drinking a soft drink. You are drinking something that's reminding you of your childhood, most likely. Almost definitely. And it can be anything, right? Probably shouldn't drink soda. That's a stretch. Jason said that's a stretch. Nah, dude, it's not a stretch. Why? What do you think it is? What? Because as an adult, a 35-year-old adult, I'm like, oh man, I really need that sugar-free caffeinated beverage. I really need that in my health. Nah, dude, I'm health conscious. I know it's bad for me. Even the diet stuff. I don't drink the sugar stuff. Actually, I like the taste better of the diet. Why? I think it's because I'm thirsty and that's what will taste good. Dude, your body actually is asking for is water. That's it. It's the only thing that your body is actually physiologically asking you for is water. Your body is not, hey, I need Coke to survive. I need Pepsi to survive. Nah, dude, your body wants water if you're thirsty. You choose the Coke, you choose the Pepsi because it gives you a feeling of something. You might just think it's the caffeine rush or the bubbles. Dude, it's not. It's not. Because you've been marketed to, you've seen the stories, you've had the feelings, you've drinking it with your friends, you've had it in college mixed in with booze. Whatever it is, man, that stuff's anchored into you for your entire life. And everyone forgets it because everyone wants it to not be what it really is. And it's just emotion. Jason says people also buy on taste. Sure, if you're 35 and you've never had Coke or Pepsi and you try them and somebody just says, hey, pick one of these. I pretty much guarantee that the vast majority of people don't start drinking soda in their 30s. Dude, you weren't a 6-year-old kid, a 5-year-old kid deciding, do I like Coke better? It's a little heavier tasting than Pepsi. Nah, dude, it was around you. It was your friends were drinking. It was what your family was drinking. It was what you're celebrating with at a birthday party. That's what it is. You just don't realize it. You're not thinking that way. No, I don't think that way. I'm just conscious of it because, dude, this is what I do. And maybe we're 35, maybe you never had soda in your entire life, and 35 years old, you decided, hey, I'm gonna try soda. Maybe. I guarantee there's less than 1% of the entire population that ever drinks the stuff. You can apply that back to anything, man. Everybody's chasing a feeling. Every sale, every business, everything that you do is based on how you want to feel. And worse, how you want others to feel about you. That's how you make pretty much every major decision in your entire life. That's how everyone buys, dude. No one needs a Rolex. They're freaking amazing watches, though, dude. Amazing. I don't have one. I like Movado. That's what I have. But here's the deal. No one needs one. Nobody needs anything. It gives you a feeling. It either gives you a feeling or it makes you think it's going to give someone else a feeling about you. That's it. So every single decision that you make is based on whether you are conscious of it or not. That's it. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. Yeah, subconscious marketing on an emotional level. Dude, all real marketing is emotion. The hey, remarketing and give me a coupon, dude, that's just tactic. If I'm not emotional about your product, if I'm not emotional about your business, sure, I might come there because you have what I need in that moment of time, but that's it. I'm gone. I'm out. But if you make me feel something, if your mission about your business, about your product, what it does for me, what it does for the world, what it does for other people that I want to be like or that I want to be around, people will absolutely buy an emotion. They will justify it with the facts. People don't buy based on fact. They buy on emotion and they justify with facts. So if you're just going after the facts, oh, well, this cup here is blue, it's round, it holds 7 ounces of liquid. If I need a cup that's blue and round and holds 7 ounces of liquid and you happen to be in front of me at the absolute moment that I happen to need this exact thing, sure, I'm going to buy it and the marketing will work. The vast majority of people, myself, you, everyone, we're not basing it off the fact. We're like, oh, that looks cool. It feels cool. I saw that at my buddy's house. He said it was great. It's a great product. I saw this celebrity drinking it. Dude, even if you're not thinking of it on a conscious level, that's how you're making the decision. All of us. All of us. Dude, that's all life is feelings, emotions. Some of us feel like we can't control them. Others have worked on it and know you can control your emotions. You can control your reaction. You can be more conscious of how you're feeling. Doesn't mean that it's wrong to feel any way. It just means that if you're more conscious of it, if you have the self-awareness to realize, hey, I'm feeling this way, and then you have even a deeper level of self-awareness to then say, oh, here's why I'm feeling that way. You have a lot more control. Then you can bring it back to the facts a little bit. But even the facts at that level don't matter. Because at the end of the day, it's just a feeling, dude, why do I want to build a $100 million business? because factually that's going to, at that point, allow me to have the freedom that I want for my family, allow me to take care of my wife who has Crohn's disease, allow me to take care of my kids for their entire lives and have to give them the lives that I wish I had access to when I was younger. Yeah, it might. 50 million might do that. 10 million might do that. A billion's going to do it more. Maybe, maybe not. But here's the deal. It doesn't matter. It's how I want to feel. I want to feel that I'm contributing. I want to feel that I am changing the environment that I'm in, the people that I'm around, the clients that I have. I want to know what's possible. I want to feel every day that I gave it my all. I want to feel every single day that people look at me and go, man, that dude is really doing some stuff. He's working hard. He's going after it. He said he was going to do stuff and he did it. It's just a feeling. There's no facts behind any of that. Let me see. This comment looks interesting. Like Michael Jordan in the NBA and his shoe line, sports, etc., it has a very strong pull of attention and impact. Yeah, dude. You don't buy Jordans because it's going to make you jump higher. You buy Jordans because you like Jordan, because you know what he stands for, because you're like, man, I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Mike, dude. He's fearless. He goes after what he wants. He's the best at the game. He's a champion. So I'm going to buy his stuff. Maybe on a subconscious level, it makes, dude, and I'm wearing Jordans, by the way. I am wearing Jordans. Dude, I didn't buy the Jordans because, oh, they were high tops and they're black and they match this thing and the sole is made of, dude, I didn't buy any of that. I didn't buy my Nikes, my Jordans. Whoops. Here we go. I didn't buy my Jordans because of facts. Dude, I bought it because, man, like, I like the way they look. I like the way that I feel when I walk around in them. And I don't mean physically. Joe, what's up, man? That's it. It's all emotion. And so if you're not telling your real story, dude, that's why Ed Milet is blowing up in a year. Dude has millions of people listening to his podcast. There's hundreds of thousands of people following on social media because he's real. And most businesses are not real. We're all spending our time and our energy trying to tell other people how we want them to perceive us instead of saying, like, dude, this is me. This is me. This is what I stand for. Take it or leave it, but this is me. And I'm just being honest. Game changer. It's personal. It's business. It's all of the above. It's everything, man. It's everything. What questions do you guys have? This is fun. I really miss this, by the way. I really do. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, especially on the East Coast this late. I really miss this. Do you know why, by the way? Any questions? Business, marketing, growing bold, entrepreneurship, anything you want to ask. Personal, I don't care. I'll answer anything. AMA tonight while I'm here at the airport. Look. Let me throw up a graphic for a little bit. Where was I going with that? Oh, dude, you know why I absolutely love this? You know, the number one reason why I do Growing Bold and the content, of course, is to grow my business. I'm not stupid, right? Like I'm doing what I sell clients. Tell your real story. Use digital marketing. Have a great strategy. Understand who your customers are and who you're talking to. I'm doing exactly what I'm selling my clients and my customers, right? So when I'm there in a boardroom meeting and I'm saying, like, we need to do this, they know I believe it. They know I'm telling them. They know I'm 1,010% invested in what I say and what I believe. So it's like, do they believe what I believe? That's it. That's the only thing. But you know what the other part of it that I wasn't expecting to get out of it early on, that has really absolutely been a game changer for me, and why I also know I have to do more content. I need to do more lives. I need to do more Q&As. I need to do more speaking engagements, not just for the business. You know why? Because I'm realizing there's not a lot of real people. There's a lot of people that put content out. There's a lot of people that talk. There's a lot of people that say what they think other people want to hear, or they're manipulative, or they just, stick to a little narrow piece, but they don't give you the rest of the picture. I'm willing to do that. I need to do it better. I need to do it more. You know why, though? Do you know why? Because when I was a struggling entrepreneur, dude, when I was living on a couch 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 11 years ago, whatever it was, When I was struggling, when I was going through my hardest, darkest times, and I was thinking of giving up, I wish somebody would have told me this stuff. I wish YouTube existed and I could tune in and watch Ed Milet. I'm just trying to create some of the content that I wish somebody else would have created that I could have watched when I was struggling, when I was growing up, when I was early in business, when I was messing up, dude, when I was about to give up. That's it. And if I can give some of that, and I can also give some what's really happening in the business world, in the marketing world, that's going to change businesses, now that's powerful. And when it grows my business, not just because it's a tactic, but because I'm really showing you and talking about what you need to do, how you need to tell your real story, about really how you need to understand business, about how you need to have a paradigm shift about business, about storytelling, about marketing today. Because, man, look at how many businesses are going out. Toys R Us is done. Babies R Us is done. Petco is like on the verge of bankruptcy. They're almost done. Do you know how many people that are going to be out of work because of that? It could have been avoided. Had they really looked at the long-term picture of where the marketplace is going, not just marketing, but business as well. A lot more people could, that's it. Look, I'm going to answer some questions here. Let me scroll back a second. Alexi, I don't know if I ever say your name right, dude. I'm sorry. Money does not change you; it only amplifies you. So you're a good person. Yeah, I actually agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. The former general manager of the New York Jets, Mike Tannenbaum, I did a bunch of work with them way back in the day. And I actually I got to ask him that question. I said, hey, Mike, you've made so many people that came from nothing millionaires. Like, what's the difference between the guys that go and blow their money and like go do stupid stuff and get locked up? And what's the difference between the guys like Curtis Martin, who are just like really nice dudes? And he said to me, it really is that. It's that the people, money does not change anybody. It just gives you a bigger version of yourself. So if you were going to do that stuff, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get in trouble anyway. Now it's just accelerated. But if you're a really nice person, you're giving, and you care about other people, now you can do it at bigger scale. He said that was it. So I agree with that totally. Ron Fisher, what's up, man? What's your take on corporate social responsibility? How do you choose what cause or charities to support with so much need all over? Dude, it's just what's passionate to you, man? Ron, what is the thing? What are the things that you care about the most that you want to change, that you want to have an impact on? You can't change everything. It's impossible. So you got to have a focus, like everything. You can't be in business and try to service everything to everyone. You're going to go out of business. You can't market to people and try to please everybody. It's just impossible. You go out of business. Same thing. If you want to give back, you want to find that. How do I help? Everybody's in charge. So many issues. Yeah, man. Pick one. Pick a lane. What's important to you? Because at the end of the day, if it's important to you, and that's your mission, man, you get people enrolled in that. In your mission, in your enthusiasm, they're going to move. But if you just kind of dabble a little bit all over, man, you're not going to move anybody. You're not going to get anybody enrolled in your vision. Steve, Ed Milet, Bradley are killing it because they're authentic and transparent. So, dude, oh man, I love that you put Ed Milet and Bradley in the same sentence. Both two dudes I know now personally. Both guys I really respect. Dude, Brad is such a funny, cool guy. He just doesn't care. He's like, this is me, like. Go brush your teeth. Nah, Brad's awesome, man. Brad's awesome. Ed, dude, oh, so great to spend some time with him. But you're right. They're real. They're real. They're not worried about trying to make a fake version of themselves. Just own it. Just own it. How do you reach out to your first potential customers? Just go do it. You just go do it. It's really not that complicated. You just figure out, dude, who are the people that should be my customers, that need what I have. Who are they? Where are they? And then just go tell them about what you do. Find out they have that problem that you solve and talk to them. That's it. Start there. Let's see. Mateus, how do you stay organized and on track? Well, I have a great assistant, so that helps a lot. But in a general sense, how do I stay organized and on track? Well, I've been getting better at it actually, because I keep taking things off of my plate. I keep taking things off of my plate and focusing in on what's going to have an impact for me, right? Like, how do I have the biggest impact? Focusing my energy on those things, prioritizing what it takes to get those things done, okay? Like putting that in order. I take time every single week to figure out, hey, what are the big things I need to accomplish this week? Then breaking it down, what are the big things I need to accomplish today? And then looking at the bigger picture of the next 60, 90, 120 days. What do I need to accomplish? And then what are the smaller steps to get there? That's it. That's really it. It's very simple for me. Jay, how long did it take you to realize that authenticity is important, or did you already know? It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I can say that like there was a moment in which I knew that authenticity was important. I mean, if I actually even think back to just, man, if I go back even like 8 years, 9 years ago, I was producing like commercials. We'd always gravitate towards, like, we'd tell the clients, we'd say like, why don't we just get some of your customers? Like, if you're a sports brand, like, let's just get some of your athletes. So let's just get some of your fans. Like, let's just email blast out and find out who wants to be in this commercial. Let's do that. Because I always just felt like that, there's great actors, don't get me wrong. But I feel like I'd rather have real people who are just like, yeah, like, this changed me. I love this product because of this reason. So I guess I've always kind of gravitated towards that realness. I don't think until I've started doing all this content that I've really articulated it so clearly and know. So I think I've always kind of done it, but now I think I'm very clear on what that is. Okay. What is the real goal of yours? What does the 100 million get you? 100 million is just target, dude. 100 million is a target. That's not the end goal. I'm not just trying to get to 100 million, dude. I want to change the industry. I want to change people's lives. You know, it sounds crazy, dude. You own a marketing company. How are you changing people's lives? Because, I'll tell you a couple things. One, I think that most people go into their jobs and are pretty either miserable or they tolerate it. And I am an absolute firm believer it doesn't need to feel that way. Everyone should have a place where they can go, where they make money, where they like going. Like, if that just changes, think about like how much better the world would be, how much better people would feel when they came home, how much happier their kids would be, because man, their parents come home and they're like, oh, it's a great day, I love what I do. People are most people are like kind of like either miserable or like, nah, I'm here. That's not my company. But here's the deal. We do business with other companies, and we not only show them like, hey, how to market, yeah, sure. But we can also show them like, show them what's possible give them what they're missing. Like, enjoy working with us so much that they now enjoy working at their job, at their company. Dude, that changes a lot of stuff. And then on the other side, the more tangible side, it's, dude, you know how many businesses are going to go out of business in the next 5 to 7 years? I don't think anyone has any clue. Man, you're going to see names of networks, newspapers, magazines, movie studios. You're going to see stuff that you've known as a kid. You've been a kid, that's been around forever. That are cornerstones, go under, man, like out, gone, end of story. And it can be prevented. It can be changed. But there's so much short-sightedness in the marketplace, in business. There's so much decision-making in business right now going on in the short term, and on people trying to manipulate the market and not really be real about it, not really understand how to touch the customer, how to give emotion, how to tell a good story, what tactics are working, understanding how to connect the business to the marketing. Like, truly, that's not happening for the most part, actually. And so there's going to be so many businesses that go under, that go out. And so the bigger we grow, the more companies we do business with, the more companies we help navigate through these crazy times, through these changes. And we help companies not only stay alive, but grow and thrive and then change their environment. And then I create an environment in Bold with instead of dozens of people, with hundreds of people, with thousands of people that love what they do, that come in every day excited. That changes everything. That changes the world, dude. That's my goal. I want to take over the industry. I want to change the world. I want to change people's lives. I want people to love work. Work has such a bad connotation. I posted something on LinkedIn the other day and I was like, hey, if you work 80 hours a week, you'll do in 6 months what takes everyone else 12. And in reality, you're probably going to do in 4 months what takes other people 16 months because you're clearly more dedicated. Oh my God, I had no idea. Dude, people are freaking out. They're like, oh, you're going to die early. Da, 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 da. It's terrible. Stress. I'm like, dude, I'm not stressed. You can't work 80 hours. You can't work 16-hour days and be efficient. I'm like, I don't know. It's freaking 9 o'clock, which is midnight my time on East Coast. Dude, I've been going all morning. Yeah, I have caffeine. That's it. My only drug is caffeine, bro. Dude, it's because I pushed myself. Everyone else doesn't want to push themselves. So they read the article that says, dude, you can't work 80 hours. You're going to die. Yeah, because most people that work 80 hours don't like what they do. They aren't inspired. They show up to a place to collect a paycheck. So of course they don't want to work that. So of course they're stressed out. Of course they are. Dude, do that same study on people like me and Andy Frisella and Ed Milet and Grant Cardone and Mark Zuckerberg and Mark Cuban. Guess what you'll find, dude? Zero stress, a lot of damn passion, and a hell of a lot more than 80 hours a week. Do that study. Do that study so people know what's possible, that the whole 40 thing is bullshit. And it doesn't mean that you have to do it. I'm not even saying anybody had to work 80 hours a week. I was just saying, hey, if you did this, you could accomplish more. Why is everyone so afraid of accomplishing more? Dude, you want to live longer and do less? I'd rather live shorter and do more. But also, I'm not stressed, man, because I love it. I want everybody else to feel this. I don't want everybody to get angry. I'm like, hey, man, if you work harder, like, you can do more. I don't want people to react so negatively and go, oh, well, here's the 75 reasons why you can't do that. You're going to die, and you're a horrible person, and your kids are going to hate you. Dude, that's just not true. None of that's true. I actually can change that by growing my business. Like, in 100 million, dude, that's just this, like, checkbox, man. Because we get there, dude. Like, I'm going to keep raising the target. But it's an aggressive target, man. So it makes me think bigger. It makes me dream bigger. It creates the space for me to do what I know I need to do. Know I can do. It's not easy. I question myself often. I really do. Oh, man, am I crazy? Do I really need to do that? Is it worth the time, stress? I'm having a kid in 6 months. Like, what am I going to do? Relax. Always got to figure it out. If you care, you'll figure it out. Most people are spending all of their energy telling everyone else why they can't do it instead of spending any time just doing it. It's a different story. All right, I'm going to scroll back up here. That's definitely worth staying up for. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. You've changed mentality. I guess you say changed my life. Oh, man, Jay, that's awesome, dude. Okay, advice for raising money. Joining alumni board, private school, responsibility getting donations. No one else wants to. Opportunity. I thought about getting to know them. Look, you want to raise money, believe in the cause. Really, really believe in the cause. Dude, you got to believe in it so much that if you had the bank account, you'd cut the whole damn check yourself. And then make people feel that. Make people feel how important it is. Don't tell them why they should do it. Make them feel how important it is to you, to how much energy and effort you're putting in, that people are inspired by how much this means to you, that they're going to help you make that happen. Dude, that's how you raise money for charity, man. That's it. There's nothing else to it. The tactics are the tactics. Email, phone call, networking. Yeah, you got to do all that stuff, of course. But you need to make people feel it. So you believe it. Ed said something like that to me today, paraphrasing, but he's like, you gotta. He calls it the transfer of energy. You gotta transfer that energy, man. If you believe in it so much, you're so passionate. There's gonna be other people like, wow, I'm inspired by that. I'm gonna help this out. That's it. That's all. That's it. Steve Young, they're afraid of what others find out that we all, including them, are self-made. Yeah, I think there's a big reason. I think that's it. I think that people, in general, dude, and I've been there. I'm there sometimes, man, where you hold yourself back because if you really go for it, if you really know you went all in, if you go 80% and it doesn't work out, you're like, well, I didn't really go all in. Next time I'll push harder. It's like running a race. you ever run a race, even if you haven't, you cross the finish line. And if you ask yourself honestly, could I have gone harder? If your answer is, yeah, I could have gone a little harder, what were you waiting for? What were you holding back? You know what most of us are holding back? And I've done this. I've literally done this in life. I for anybody who doesn't know, I used to race bikes in amateurs, Cat 3 cycling, bike racing. So I've done it. I've done it racing. I've done it mentally. So I've been there. Still catch myself doing it, which is, you ask yourself, did I really go all in? Did I do everything I could? Did I leave it all out there on the field? A lot of the time the answer is no. You could go harder. You know why? It's one of two things, I think. It's either you don't really believe in yourself. You don't really believe you could win it. You don't really believe you could work that hard. You don't really believe you could get to 100 million. You don't really believe you could have family and a career at the same time. You don't really believe it. So you're not going to fully go all in on it. That's one. And two, number two, well, if you didn't really go all in and you knew you could go a little harder, there's always next time. Because then you can't say I wasn't good enough. Then you just say, well, I could have been good enough, but it's one of those two things. You either don't believe it or hold them back so you don't really truly know where you stand. If you go all in and you don't make it, then you have a decision to make. Am I going to put in the work needed to make it? Or do I not want it enough? And either decision is fine. But we all spend so much time trying to avoid the real issues, trying to avoid actually thinking about that stuff. We spend all of our energy trying to justify instead of do. But if you just go all in, now you know what you're made of. And you get to try it again tomorrow if you didn't win. Thanks, Jay. Cool. I think I'm going to wrap up in a minute here. Any other questions, shoot them in now. But as I'm winding up here, as I'm winding up, or winding down, I guess, right? Catch that red eye back to New York. As I'm winding down, you know, I want you to, a couple things. Well, first, I just want to remind everybody, because I don't know anyone came in late, that Growing Bold's coming back, dude. We made some big changes. It's gonna be season 2. Like, we're all in. I've got the podcast, Growing Bold podcast, about to launch. I've had so many great guests that we haven't seen, you guys haven't seen. I haven't put the content out, so stand by. But in the meantime, I'm gonna do more of this because I've really realized, dude, I'm leaving so much on the table. I've only been playing at 80%. I haven't been playing at 100. And that's my commitment, dude. I need to go all in. If I'm really going to do this, I'm going to grow a $100 million business. I'm going to change the freaking industry, take over the world, change people's lives, change the environment in which people work in and how much they believe that they can do. If I'm going to do that, I can't wait around to do some content. I can't wait for it to be perfect. I can't wait for, to rehire, part of the team. I can't do that. Just got to do it, man. Just got to go. It's all about action. 98% of everything is action. But we spend 98% of our time thinking, pontificating, wondering, strategizing, when in reality, you just start going. You don't learn anything thinking about it. You can't learn to swim by theorizing about it. You just gotta freaking swim. Baby doesn't learn to walk by thinking about maybe you should walk, and if I put this foot, dude, they just do it. They fall on their face 1,000 times, and then they figure it out. Somewhere along the line, we lose a little bit of that. To think we're scared of seeing having anyone else see that we fall down. But the reality is we all fall down. We're just covering it up, man. I've just covered it up. I'm going all in, man. So that's coming back. I get a couple questions here. Oh, you guys are awesome. Let me jump in on a few of these, and then I'll wrap it up for sure. All right. Thought on marketing, making someone a partner that doesn't bring in money to the table, but just some hours behind the counter. The value making somebody, dude, if you're going to make someone a partner, if you're going to give a piece of the business away, they have to bring so much value. It's not always financial. It's not always financial. But dude, it's gotta be worth it. Like, don't give away part of your company because you need an hourly worker. Dude, sell some more stuff so you can pay that person. But if they bring so much to the table, something you can't do, a skill set you absolutely cannot do, and help you get to where you want to go faster, whether financially or because of who they know, what they can do, consider it. But I think those are the caveats. Chris, thanks for the time. What platforms do you gravitate towards? We want to get a strong pulse on what your target audience cares about. Chris, Instagram for sure. I think Instagram's the best platform right now. Facebook is a close second. Well, Facebook's a little, yeah, whatever. Instagram, definitely number one. And then Facebook, Twitter. Snapchat's dead to me. You can check my tweet from like last March where I said the thing was going to go bankrupt. So anyway, it'll happen eventually. Or to get bought out before it gets total bankruptcy. But Snapchat sucks. Aside from that, they're all great. YouTube's good. It's hard. But definitely Instagram, dude. Instagram stories. Is it hard to catch a meeting with you? Yes, it really is. Not impossible. You got to be aggressive. You got to email, message, follow up 1,000 times. It's not easy. Dude, my schedule is insane. I'm really focused right now. I wish I had more time. I wish I could meet with everybody. It's just impossible to do so. So it's not impossible, but it takes a lot of effort to really make it happen. A lot of people don't risk possible opportunities. Advance several reasons. I agree. Michael, question. I'd like to talk to you about personal branding versus company branding on LinkedIn. What content should a business owner be putting out on his personal page versus the company page puts out in content? Michael, you're still there? Give me context. What industry? What industry? So I might, depending on what it is, I might have a slightly different answer. Transfer energy, that's good. Yep, dude. Go follow Ed Milet, by the way, guys. If you're not, I'm sure you all are, but if you're not, dude, he has a way of putting stuff in words, man, because he knows how to tell stories, his own, other people's stories, metaphorical stories. That's where the power is. It always comes back to story, guys. It always does. Steve, love it. You're welcome, man. Good support. I got it, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Good, good. Let's see. Follow up. What about the Snapchat location-based search function where you're able to see compilation of snaps from a certain area? Sure. I mean, dude, it's just a tactic. I think the platform is like, they can argue all that they want. Oh, well, the young audience, like sub 21, are still really on it, and that's true. Can they turn it around? Maybe. I lost faith before the IPO, to be quite honest. And you can see, man, I have not. You can check my tweets all the way back. I've been talking about the same. I haven't changed my position on them. I've been right. I mean, they just came out with their quarterly and it was terrible. Everyone thought Facebook was going to be terrible. I'm like, dude, it's going to be great. I bought more stock because it was down, and of course it went through the roof. Like, it's so obvious the difference. But yeah, like, I mean, it's a cool feature, but I don't think that feature is gonna like doesn't do anything. Like, it's not game changing, man. Like, Snapchat's gonna have to do something really game changing to change the game, to fix it, to turn it around, to make it profitable. And I just don't see it happening. Okay, out of home media. So I'm gonna scroll back up, Michael. Personal branding versus company branding. Well, we're talking about out of home media. Let's see here for 1 second. Okay, I think that the company should really deliver the facts of it, right? Like, the company, and it doesn't mean there's no emotion, no story there, but I think it's more of like, hey, I want to know, like, dude, why should I do this? You know, what results has somebody else got? What do I need to know about it if I'm considering this? What information, what education can I get from the business that's going to make me think of your business in the future if that's something that I need, that I think is a solution, or that solves the problem that I've got? On the personal side, dude, why do you sell? Why do you believe in it? Why do you believe in it? Tell me, what's it going to do for me? What's it going to do for my business? Like, what do I need to think about? How do I need to change my mindset so that that can help me? There it is. So I think they're not far off. I think the personal side's a little bit, I don't want to say more emotional, but I want to say it's a little less dry facts. I'm not saying it should be dry on the other side, but I think, like, if you're just posting a bunch of facts, like, dude, I don't care. Like, I'm following you as a human being. So, like, I just want to know, like, what motivates you? Why do you believe in it? Why are you selling it Tell me about that stuff. And then on the other side, if I'm looking for it, if I'm thinking about it, if I'm considering it, if I need education on it, have the company be the resource. Hopefully that helps. Well, cool. All right. Well, listen, everybody, I really appreciate your time tuning in. This has been so much fun. I miss it. I really do. I'm so glad I took a little bit of time while I'm at the airport here. LAX, flying back out to New York tonight. Red Eye. A love-hate relationship with red eyes. I hate flying during the day from the West Coast to the East Coast. It burns the whole day. But at the same time, like, there's not enough hours going West Coast to East Coast on a flight to get a full night's sleep. So you're always in this like hazy, like, I don't know. It messes me up for a couple days, but push through it. It's good. I'd rather fly in the red eye and have all day tomorrow than burn all day tomorrow in the plane. So anyway, look, I'm gonna jump ship. I'm gonna get out of here. But thank you all, and think about this. I'm gonna leave you with this. I want you to think about, why do you do what you do? What's the story behind that? Why do you do what you do? And then ask yourself, why aren't you really telling everybody that? Like really, like not just surface level, like underneath, like really, why do you really do it? What do you really want? Why aren't you telling everybody that story? What are you hiding? And why? Why does it matter? Think about that. And that applies to you, that applies to your business. Think about it. What are you not telling the world that you know to be true in your heart of hearts? The reason that you get up every day, the reason why you want to be successful, the reason that you do what you do. And if you don't have a reason, or you're just there for a paycheck, maybe you need to find a different reason or a different job or a different career or a different passion or something. But if you really do love what you do or want to love what you do or have a view of the world, why aren't you really telling it? I'll leave you with that. Thank you, everybody. I really, really appreciate your time, and I'll see you all soon. I really appreciate it.